All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
The Psychology of the Backrooms by Enigma and Axioms. On a stormy Thursday evening, the rain comes down like a curtain of beads against the dim glow of street lamps. New York City seems to whisper secrets hidden in the mist as Jack Malloy, the private investigator, a trade and cynic by choice, returns to his modest apartment after a long day, chasing shadows and dead-end leads. The interior of Jack's dimly lit apartment, a small and wooden apartment by chance due to the high cost of living. The clock ticks loudly, marking the passage of time. Jack hangs his hat and coat by the old rack by the door, his shoes making a wet squeak on the linen floor. He's tired, but the good type of tired. And the day's work feels like something was accomplished, even if it amounted to nothing. Perhaps you work a job, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. A long day has passed by, but you feel good. You feel victorious as you brew some strong coffee, the aroma filling the sparse kitchen, mingling with the scent of rain and the rice that you've made in your rice cooker, seeping through the cracked windows of the city. You take a breath in. Most people take shallow breath, but you yourself are cautious. They say the city never sleeps, but it does tire. You can hear it in the sigh of the wind, the restless shuffle of papers in the empty alleys, the flickering of the neon lights that never quite go out. You sit on the kitchen table, you, Jack, and there's a sharp knock at the door. Surprised, you glance at the clock. It's nearly midnight. With your hand on your revolver, no client with good news would come knocking at this hour. Cautiously, you approach the door. Hand resting on the side, eyes looking through the window hole. Who's there? A muffled voice says, "A friend with a message." With a shrug more to himself than anyone else, you unbolt the door, even though your intuition tells you the opposite. You don't trust visitors. Your hand now locks a revolver. There stood a figure, shrouded in a trench coat, the brim of their hat low, obscuring the face.
Jack Malloy, you need to see this.
Before you can respond, the figure thrusts an envelope into his hands and turns, disappearing into the foggy room, as mysteriously as they had arrived. You close the door, and you find yourself in the liminal cafe. Looking behind you, you realize that you're no longer in your apartment. The exterior, a deserted part of town, the empty Wild West, by an Mardian sense of loneliness. The street is empty, a cafe from a photograph sits between the two near buildings. Its presence, almost anachronistic. There's nobody around you. No stores, no animals, no life, just you. You push through the door, a little nervously. The bell chimes above, the sound hanging there longer than it should be. Inside of Enigma and Liminal's cafe is exactly the photograph, too still, as you hold your envelope up and see the similarities. There are no patrons, just you and the coffee maker in front of you. It's like stepping into a photograph, you think, a slice of time, preserved in sepia stones of silence. I knew this place wasn't right. It's a liminal space, the kind of place you only find when you're not looking. Think back to the memories of you in college when you were younger. You used to look in these conspiracy theories, these SCPs, subreddits, the backrooms, and then you find yourself in a place where you always wanted to be. You're in the backrooms, Jack, place between. You've got here because you're always searching for what's hidden, but some doors are best left unopened. The allure of the backrooms, escapism, and the link to maladaptive daydreaming. If you're looking for a different type of link though, there's a link in my bio where you can fund this channel so I can make more videos like this. So with that said, let's get into this. The realm of digital folklore. Few places captured the imagination as vividly as the backrooms, a seemingly endless expanse of unnerving mundane, liminal spaces that exist just out of sync with reality. The backrooms as internet-born mythos serve as a metaphor for alternate dimension, accessible only through the minutiae of our board's fabric. This concept resonates deeply with the human desire for escapism and connects intrinsically with phenomena such as maladaptive daydreaming. To understand why individuals might yearn to disappear into the backrooms, we need to explore both the psychological appeal of such spaces and their relation to deeper psychological conditions. Part 1. The psychological appeal of escapism. In today's society, we're bombarded with so much information on the internet: negativity, politics, mental health, the economy, and all the bad things that can happen to us. It's very easy to become numb to these things and to feel really cynical. Escapism is a fundamental human experience. Compare escapism to an ostrich putting their head within the ground to not see what's happening. Part of you just doesn't want to deal with the buffoonery in life. You just want to leave. And that's exactly what the Backrooms offers you, offering psychological relief from daily stresses, anxieties, and dissatisfaction from engaging in fantasy, entertainment, or in this case, conceptual spaces like the Backrooms. In essence, you're making your own reality, where it's not so chaotic. The appeal of the Backrooms as an escapist fantasy lies in the presentation of the boundless, mysterious zone removed by the constraints and predictability of the real world. Within the Backrooms, there are no politics, there is no social media addiction, and there is no political chaos. It is you, the entity, in the Backrooms. You are the main character. According to a study on virtual realities and escapism by Mark Griffith, PhD, a professor at Nottingham Trent University, escapism is a primary motivation for engaging in immersive virtual environments. These environments provide a sense of autonomy, mastery, and escapism, not easily found in real life. This, for example, is video games. You may be a real-life loser in the real world, but you may also be a high prestige level in the video game. You may be level 15 in Clash Royale and a total loser in real life, but the act of escapism means you don't have to deal with the ugly truth of reality. But for why you want to be in the Backrooms might not be this reason. This is just one of them. The Backrooms, while not a virtual reality in the traditional sense, functions similarly by offering an immersive narrative experience where one can mentally wander free from the everyday reality. Part 2. Connection to maladaptive daydreaming. Maladaptive daydreaming is a psychological concept first described by Professor Eli Sommer of the University of Haifa. I must give the disclaimer first out. All these sources that I am getting from ChatGPT 4, the new version that you guys generally funded. So it may be right, it may be wrong. Don't quote me. I'm not gospel. Individuals with this condition may find the concept of the Backrooms particularly appealing, as it mirrors the complex layer inner worlds they create. What is maladaptive daydreaming? What is maladaptive daydreaming, you might ask? Maladaptive daydreaming is a psychological concept first described as extensive fantasy activity that replaces human interaction or interferes with academic, interpersonal, or vocational functioning. Long story short, maladaptive daydreaming is daydreaming to the point where you're losing touch with reality. I can make the argument that by being on social media constantly, by frying your dopamine receptors, you're pretty much doing the same. You're not in touch and you're not grounded. The Backrooms might be one of those vices in your life. As great as I do love this community, much of this community is only a cope to cover a void within our lives. Because the Backrooms offers a boundless template where maladaptive daydreamers can project their intricate fantasies. Perhaps you're too afraid to make your dreams a reality, and they stay just dreams for you. These spaces are undefined and malleable, much like the scenarios in which dream and daydreamers. The ambiguous nature of the Backrooms allows the individual to fill them with their narratives, fears, desires, providing a canvas, as a Western read as the mind itself. The Backrooms is like a canvas for your shadow. All the inner desires that you want in real life that you can't get may manifest itself within the Backrooms, whether it be entities, worlds, liminal spaces, loneliness, or your deepest yearnings. Perhaps you like liminal spaces that remind you of your home because your home situation is not what it used to be. Now, for empirical research and theoretical implications. Research into digital escapism and its psychological impacts often highlights the dual-edged nature of such practices. While escapism can be therapeutic and constructive, it can also contribute to avoidance behaviors, particularly in individuals prone to maladaptive daydreaming. What does this mean? It means indulging in the Backrooms isn't necessarily bad. If I spend a week every or I spend an hour every week enjoying the Backrooms, enjoying Kane Pixel's Backrooms videos, that's not necessarily bad. It only becomes bad when I'm using this to cope. Meaning, one should drink alcohol when they're already happy, not drinking alcohol to become happy. It's not about avoiding, it's about contributing, enjoying the process itself, enjoying the Backrooms as a passage of time, not to fill a void. A study published in the Journal of Psychology and Behavior, 2009, suggests that immersive environments can exacerbate tendencies toward withdrawal and fantasy in individuals predisposed to these behaviors. On a side note though, Apple Vision Pros plus Backrooms would be a very fun experience, I think of it. But to get back into the point, the concept of the Backrooms aligns with the theories of uncanny as described by Sigmund Freud. The uncanny involves something familiar yet foreign, enough to provoke unease, an apt description of the Backrooms. The comfort is paradoxically also a draw, offering eerie mesmerizing space that is both known and unknowable. As I mentioned in the past with The Shadow, many parts of the Backrooms feel really familiar yet a little uncomfortable at the same time. They may invoke senses of our childhood traumas, things that remind us of bad memories that were vital to us. For example, a close relationship with your mother who abused you. Now, to move to part 3. Social cultural implications. The rival nature of the Backrooms across the internet forums and social media has totally ruined the Backrooms because entities should not be. I'm just playing. The original Backrooms was a lot better in my opinion. Social media illustrates a broader cultural fascination with alternative realities and the boundaries of the human psyche. In a society increasingly focused on hyperrealism and constraint, constant connectivity, the Backrooms represent a return of mystery and unexplored corners of the mind and mental space. Part 3.5. So, all these reasons I've mentioned to you might not be the reason why you want to be in the Backrooms. So you have to ask yourself now, why do you want to be in the Backrooms person? And the answer is this: solitude. In the world where everything is so chaotic and hyper-realistic, in the world where everything is commodified and everything is turned into business, sometimes you just want to find peace. And that's exactly what the Backrooms offers. An empty place of solitude to reflect on your own thoughts and to adventure as a human. For us humans, we're made not to be certified public accountants, public defenders, janitors, cashiers. We were made to adventure, to conquer, to explore. And that is the part of the Backrooms that allures me and you the most probably. The Backrooms may serve as a digital myth, but the manifestation of them are true. It's real. The construction of this reality has become such a big community that, from viewers such as you and me, the maker, we're connected by this intertwined trust and this adornment for the Backrooms. Wouldn't it be so nice if the Backrooms were real? And with that said, my name is Enigma Axioms. Until then, greatness is coming. Got to the end of the video, like and subscribe, comment something nice. And as I said, greatness is coming. Your reality is in your control. In essence, the Backrooms not only reflects our desire to escape the mundane, but also our yearning to confront and reshape it within the boundless realms of our collective imaginations.